भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिते नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देव्ये गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So we have been reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. There's a perfection of renunciation, and today we will take verses 33, text 33, 34 and 35. Here Krishna talks about the determination in three modes. Just prior to it, Krishna spoke about understanding in three modes. Just like how everything is in three modes. Similarly, Krishna is going to tell about to Arjuna that how the determination is also in three modes. And in the next three verses, Krishna will talk about happiness, which definitely we will cover in tomorrow. So let us recite. धृत्यायया धार्यते मनः प्राणेन्द्रिय क्रिया योगिना व्यभिचारिण्या धृति सा पार्थ सात्विकी। धृत्यायया धार्यते मनः प्राणेन्द्रिय क्रिया योगिना व्यभिचारिण्या धृति सा पार्थ सात्विकी। Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word avyabhicharinya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Let us go to the next verse. Yaya tu dharman kamarthan. Sorry. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan. Dhritya dharyate Arjuna. Prasangena falakangshi. Dhriti saparth rajasi. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan. Dhritya dharyate Arjuna. Prasangena falakangshi. Dhriti sapartha rajasi. Yaya tu dharma kamartha. Dhritya dharyate Arjuna. Prasangena falakangshi. Dhriti sapartha satviki. Rajasi. Sorry. Dhriti sapartha rajasi. So translation, word to word mean yaya, by which, to, but, dharma, religiosity, kama, sense gratification, arthan, and economic development, dhritya, by determination, dharyate, one sustains, Arjuna, O Arjun, prasangena, because of attachment, falahkanshi, desiring fruitive results, dhriti, determination, sa, that, partha, O son of Pritha, rajasi, in the mode of passion, but that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjun. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Any person who is always desirous of fruitive results in religious or economic activities, whose only desire is sense gratification, and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged is in the mode of passion. Next, text 35. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedha dhriti sapartha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedha dhriti sapartha tamasi. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedha dhriti sapartha tamasi. What meaning? Yaya, by which, swapnam, dreaming, bhayam, fearfulness, shokam, lamentation, vishadam, moroseness, madam, illusion, eva, certainly, cha, also, na, never, vimunchati, one gives up, durmedha, unintelligent, dhriti, determination, sa, that, partha, O son of Pritha, tamasi, in the mode of ignorance, and that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of darkness. Perfect. It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance. So here in 3 verses in 18th chapter, which entitled The Perfection of Renunciation, Krishna is very beautifully describing the nature of one's determination. Like Srila Prabhupada says in this respect, that the Krishna consciousness is not tough, it's not difficult. So where is the difficulty? The difficulty is in determination. Just like we all devotees, like the practitioner in Krishna consciousness and the advanced also, they understand that the beginning stage of devotion is called sadhana bhakti. And sadhana bhakti means bhakti you perform according to the rules and regulations which are given by scriptures and spiritual master. Just like we follow the morning and evening program very religiously, sincerely. Wake up early in the morning, then attend Mangalarti program. Daily we chant prescribed number of rounds on our mala without fail. And for that we took a vow on initiation that I'm going to chant at least 16 rounds. And then I'm going to follow certain principles in my life, certain prohibitions, that's called 4 regulatory principles. And we sincerely try to follow to the best of our ability actually. But for that, and then we hear regularly Bhagavatam classes, we don't eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. So these are all what? How is it possible that when one can do that actually? Unless and until one has a determination, it's not possible. Now, what kind of determination? Determination is also classified by Krishna that it is also affected by 3 modes. Because whatever we see in this world, it is what actually? It is the combination of 3 modes. Because besides spirit, whatever we see, that is what? That is made by or nourished by 3 modes of nature. There is the 15th chapter, the Yoga of Supreme, in which Krishna says, Urdhu Moolam Adha Shakha Ashwatham Prahuravyam. That this tree which is upside down actually, the root of that tree is nourished by 3 modes of nature. So it's not that a person is only in 3 modes. Everything we see in this world is in 3 modes. And the classification is given in 14th chapter that the goodness is uplifting, passion is engaging, and the ignorance is degrading, which no one wants actually. And then Krishna says in the same chapter, destination also like that. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganya guna vrattistha, adho gachanti tamasa. That if you engage yourself in goodness, you are promoted naturally, because the goodness means elevating in knowledge. And then if you engage yourself in passion, then you just remain in the world, you just hanker for gratifying your senses more and more and more. But what happens when you are in Jaganya Guna Vrattistha, Adho Gachanti Tamsa, then you have a risk also. That there are 84 millions of species of life in which 80 legs are lower forms. Jaladana Valakshani Sthavardas Vimshati. You may transmigrate into different body and can try to satisfy your desire. So here, Krishna is talking about not on a gross level, more on the subtle side. Before 3 verses, Krishna spoke about understanding. So many peoples are there, but people understand differently. Why? Because their understanding is also afflicted by modes. Goodness, those people, they are in goodness, their understanding is different. The people who are in passion, their understanding is different. Ignorance, their understanding is different. That's why we see conflicts in this world. Now Krishna is saying about determination, because it is very, very much important element. So here in the first 33, what is saying? Yaya dhrityaya dharate mana pranendriya kriya. Yogina vyabhicharinya dhriti sapartha sattvipi. Krishna is saying like, from how, where this determination is coming, which is in goodness. Of course, we will also discuss, like here Krishna is actually giving the synopsis, like concluding like this 18th chapter. But we also hear one more kind of intelligence that is called pure, that is situated, that is in pure goodness, Vasudeva. That's why in the beginning of our lecture we invoke that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Because like the intelligent, we say the intelligent, like the form of intelligent, and or we can say like the incarnation of the Lord is like Vasudeva actually. Just like Aniruddha is an incarnation of Lord's mind. Like in Bhagavatam it is described actually. And then Pradumna is like the ego basically, ego factor. So similarly intelligence. So Vasudeva, we invoke Vasudeva. So Vasudeva, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam, like pure intelligence. And we say like in our Guru Puja, we say like that's called divine intelligence, which comes like not by external sources, which is revealed in the heart of a person. Divyagyan Hriday Prakashita. So of course, but here Krishna is telling about particularly in 3 modes. Why? Because like in a yoga system also there are different forms of yoga system, which is described by Krishna, that is Karma Yoga and Dhyana Yoga and Jnana Yoga, and finally the culmination is in Bhakti Yoga. So when a person is situated in Bhakti Yoga, he is directly getting knowledge from Krishna. So that's why he is situated in divine knowledge. But what about those people? They are not directly engaged in Krishna consciousness, or they are not fully Krishna conscious, or they are partially Krishna conscious. Just like all this yogi, whether they are karmi, jnani or dhyani, they are also Krishna conscious but partially Krishna conscious, because no one can become a yogi unless and until it is connected to Krishna. But they have to depend on themselves for their elevation. So that's why Krishna is saying that like Yaya dharate dhritya mana pranendriya kriya. These people follow austerity and they try to control their mind. And that's why austerity is considered to be one of the limb of dharma. Like we follow the 4 regulative principles: Satya, Tapa, Daya and Shaucham. So this tapa, what one actually acquires from by doing tapasya. Like recently, the last month was Kartik month. People follow tapasya, that I will abstain from certain kind of food. And I will abstain from certain kind of, like comfort. Tapasya, but for what purpose? Because when this 18th chapter, again Krishna saying, Yagya, Dana, Tapa, Kriya, Pavanani, Manishina. That no one should give up these 3 activities. Yagya, Dana, Tapa, Kriya, Pavanani, Manishina. Even though you are intelligent. Because by performing austerities, naturally you go away from sense gratification. And the degree you go away from sense gratification, actually it helps you in developing yourself, in progressing in sense purification basically. The degree, the more you gratify your senses, the more you entangle yourself. But the more you refrain from sense gratification, the degree you come closer to your purification. That's why that is the goal of tapasya actually. And that's why and then in our bhakti scriptures we are like Aradhit Hari Tatsat Tapkim, Naradhit Hari Tatsat Tapkim, Antar Bahiryadhi Hari Tatsat Tapkim, and Nantar Bahiryadhi Hari Tatsat Tapkim. That Aradhit Hari, if you are worshipping Hari, that's why Prabhupada says here in the last, in purport, he says actually, the word avyabhicharinya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Now why so? Why they are not deviated by any other activity? Because Aradhit Hari Tatsat Tapkim. If you are worshipping Hari, then what is the use of tapasya? Because doing tapasya, you should understand for what purpose you are doing tapasya. But Aradhit Hari Tatsat Tapkim. And then Naradhit Hari, and if you are not worshipping Hari and you are simply doing tapasya, what is the result? Just like here it is saying in 34 that, but that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion. There are many people who perform fast. For what? For some their political benefit, for some material gain actually. So that is not advocated in Bhakti Shastra. Like if you are a Naraditari Tatsat, and Antarbhavi yogis go to secluded place high in the Himalayan region and they perform tapasya for what? Just to see the Lord in their heart. So he said, Antar Bahir Yadi Hari Tatsat Tapkin. If the Lord is within and the Lord is without, Lord is in the temple, in the deity form, and Lord is in the heart of everyone's. So then what's the use of your tapasya? So does it mean that we are, the Shastras are saying, no, there is no need of tapasya? No, there is a need of tapasya. What Krishna is saying? Because if you follow such tapasya, then you get determination, and if it is towards Krishna or achieving Krishna, then it is called determination in goodness. है ना, धृत्या धारते मन प्राणेन्द्रिय क्रिया, है ना, योगिना अव्यभिचारिण्य धृति सपार्थ सात्विकी. And Prabhupada is saying actually, the yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Lord. The yoga, yuj, means what? Maybe you may be a karma yogi, jnana yogi, dhyana yogi, but eventually you are a bhakti yogi, means like a person who is situated perfectly in Krishna consciousness. So why it is not that? Because this verse has to come, sarva dharmana parityajya. This we are just going before that. That's why Krishna is, because the Bhagavad Gita is meant for all, everyone. So what Srila Prabhupada is explaining, directly for a person, who is situated in Krishna consciousness. So yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. Because that is our understanding, that Jivera Swarupa Hare Krishnera Nityadas. And Rupa Goswami saying, Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasagira nikhilasya avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. So these people, they are performing tapasya by dint of their determination, which is in goodness. For what purpose? Liberation. But he says, Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasagira. If by your action, by your mind and by your words, if you are simply engaged in the service of Krishna, serving Krishna, performing bhakti, you are already liberated. That's the result. So that is why it's saying that sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word avyabhicharanya, because it says the symptom of goodness, a person can discriminate what is desirable and what is not desirable, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And that is one of the limb of our Sharanagati. We say, we don't say what is, we are not concerned very much about what is right and what is wrong, because it's a relative world. What can be right in the summer, it cannot be right in the winter. What is right truth in the morning, it is no more truth in the evening. So what is our understanding, Krishna conscious people understanding that anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti. Whatever is favorable to Krishna, I accept. Whatever is not favorable in executing my Krishna consciousness, I reject. So that determination is automatically there in the devotee. Why? Because Lord is situated in the heart and He is giving that knowledge. And of course, those people, they are following the other yoga system. Lord is also there in the heart, and in the form of Paramatma, they are guiding actually, encouraging actually. So here Krishna says the word avyabhicharanya, Prabhupada says here the word avyabhicharanya is very significant for indicate that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Now the question may come. A person engaged in Krishna consciousness is not deviated by any other activity. What do you mean by, sir? Any other activity. Of course, Prabhupada is writing actually. So any other activities means there are always obstacles in any path. So why there will not be obstacles on the path of a person who is really desiring to go back home, back to Godhead? And there are many obstacles comes actually. So what are those obstacles? So those obstacles are described in Shastra. There's a very famous verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakalaya Shant. Bhukti, Mukti and Siddhi Kami Sakalaya Shant. Krishna Bhakta Nishakam Ataiva Shant. Only there is one person who is completely in peace. That is Krishna conscious person. Why? Because he is not deviated by these three things. These are the three deviations. Bhukti, a desire to get something, desire to enjoy. Mukti, a desire to become free from this cycle of birth, old age, disease and death, or to be liberated basically. And then Siddhi. So those, they are the karmis, they run a risk actually. That, in the path of karma yoga, some allurement comes. You may be promoted to heavenly, you may be promoted to upper planetary systems, like. Or a person may perform bhakti, like we call it mixed devotee. He is performing devotional service, but not for the satisfaction of Krishna and satisfaction of the spiritual master, but he is doing bhakti for some gain. Because I heard that, like, instead of approaching to so many demigods, approach to Krishna. Because Krishna is the master of all gods. So Krishna will give. And people have desire, like say Dhanam, Janam and Sundari. So in that category. So these are deviations. And then Mukti. Mukti means what? I'm too much fed up with this world. I don't want to take part in any other activity. Mukti. I just want peace. Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. They just want to merge into the spiritual realm, or they just want to enter into a deep sleep. And then Siddhi. Just like, there are like the scientific, discoveries we see wonderful. Similarly, there are so many Siddhis. Person can walk in air, in water. Person can become lighter. Anima, Lagima, Prapti, Shitva. These are the deviations. But what about the person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness? He is not deviated. Why? Because he doesn't want all these three. What is his prayer? We recite like Na Dhanam, Na Janam, Na Sundarim, Kavitam va Jagdisha Kabhi. Even we are not concerned that, okay, what if I'll not go back to God? No problem. Mam Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetu Kitai. If I'm engaged in serving Krishna, I don't care. No problem. I can come. And like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying in this respect that like, Kita Janma Hua. No problem. You don't give me the birth of like a Brahma, but just give me a birth where Vaishnavas live. And they are constantly glorifying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm happy because I'm hearing about Krishna. And the more we actually hear about Krishna, what happens? The more consciousness becomes cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjana. That's how, a devotee automatically gets intelligence. Automatically. So that is why he's saying, a devotee is never deviated. And that Bhagavatam is also advocating that like, Vasudeve, the word is like Vasudeva because it's like it's divine intelligence. Like, when we say Sattviki Mati, Mati means intelligence. Like Sattviki Mati, and like it's a Shuddha Sattviki Mati, divine it. Vasudeve Bhagavate Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janiyatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Hetukam. Janiyatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Hetukam. If you are engaged in worshipping Vasudeve Bhagavati, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, if you are doing Bhakti of Vasudeva, then Janiyatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Hetukam. Then Jnana and Vairagya comes. So in that respect, a very famous example, like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India, he met one Brahmana. He was an illiterate Brahmana. He don't know how to read, he don't know how to pronounce the word, Sanskrit word. But then he was reading Bhagavad Gita, and that Bhagavad Gita was also upside down. And then Chaitanya, and everybody was making a mockery of him, like this Brahmana is it. But he was just doing, why? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stopped, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked like, wait, Brahmana, why are you crying by reading Bhagavad Gita? How come I have seen so many people are reciting Bhagavad Gita and they are not crying and you are crying? What's so special in Bhagavad Gita? Will you tell me please? Then they're like, no. Brahmana said like, are you also going to make a mockery of me? So many Brahmanas come and make a mockery of me. No, I just want to know. What's the reason? Then he said actually, I don't know how to read Sanskrit and how to pronounce. But my spiritual master told that every day you should read Bhagavad Gita. You should recite Bhagavad Gita. And that's why I'm simply following. But what I do, I couldn't open actually. I'm simply seeing the jacket cover. How come that the Lord, from whom this entire universe is coming, he has become charioteer of his devotee? And that is making me cry. That is making me cry actually. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately embraced that Brahman. As you understood Brahman. You understood Bhagavad Gita. So of course, we say this is the spirit behind Bhagavad Gita. This is the spirit Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Tesham satati yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upiyanti te. So Tesham satat yuktanam, if you are engaged in serving me, Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam, not apriti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upiyanti te. Krishna says only this? No. Then Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tama nashyami atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. I am situated in the heart of my devotee. And from there, what I do? All the ignorance which is there in his heart. Just like there is a dark room and immediately you lit a lamp, what happens? Immediately the darkness is dissipated. So when the Krishna sun arises in the heart, there is no question of ignorance. And that's why we say like, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Ekya Arana Karihe Man Asha. So this is also there. It's not like Krishna is saying actually you perform this yama, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar. That helps you. Just like we also do in Kartik. Now this Katyayani Vrat is going on actually. Many of you might be observing, so I'm not observing. So in what we do, like they like Havishya Anna they eat. We eat simple food. Sometimes people just observe with fruits. Why? Because they are supporting. They are supporting. But ultimately what we are doing? Chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam, and like offering their obeisances, doing parikrama. That is the main thing. So these are the supportive things. So for a devotee, it automatically comes actually. So similarly, when one actually advances in path of bhakti, he realizes that to the degree one is maximizing his Shravanam and Kirtanam, to the degree he is becoming free from ahara and nidra, bhaya and methana. It's reducing. So for this, Krishna is saying this is the determination, this unbreakable determination. First, 33, it is also unbreakable determination. The determination in mode of goodness is also unbreakable, like a rock solid. But what kind of determination? It is for liberation. But that is not our goal. Because like Bill Mangal Thakur says, Mukti Mukul Talanjali Sevate Asma. So we do austerity, and by doing austerity, for the sake of achieving higher aim, is actually by Krishna is in mode of goodness, that determination goodness. But the purpose is what? Liberation? No. That purpose is not liberation. For other people, the people who are following the other path, for them it may be. But for Krishna conscious, the goal is Krishna actually. So that is the thing. But the people, like their goal is not this, but their goal is some gain. Either dharma, of course they are not talking about dharma, artha, kama and moksha, because there are 4 purushartha. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So artha, they want to increase their wealth component. Kama, they want to desire, they want to gratify their senses more and more. And then moksha. And people are also engaged heavily. And Prabhupada said and they are very determined. Some or other they will get it. They'll just get it. They'll do anything and everything for that. Like people fast like anything. But Krishna says, you may seem that like that person may seem very spiritual, but no, this determination is in passion. And the result is not the good actually. But we see the example of determination in our acharyas also. One such classic example is Raghunath Das Goswami. It is said that like the vow of Raghunath Goswami is like Pashanera Rekha. Like Pashanera means a stone actually. When you make a line on a stone, what happens? You cannot erase it. So his vows were like that. That daily I am going to chant 128 rounds. Nobody can shake it. The sun may rise from west, but the vow of Raghunath Das Goswami cannot be changed. every day I'll offer Dandavat to 4,000 Vaishnavas. Raghunath Das Goswami is wrong actually. And then every day he will do the parikrama of Radha Kund, Dandavati parikrama. We must have observed that many of us may had vows for the Kartik month. Sometimes it just went on and then we had to compromise, or maybe like somebody had mastered in it. But this is the thing. But vow of Raghunath Das Goswami is like a Pashana Rekha. You can erase the line on paper but not on stone. So once it is decided by Raghunath Das Goswami. Another classic example, like just in 2 days, he will just take a small cup, leaf cup of buttermilk. And by mistakenly, his personal servant, he thought that Guruji is taking this much only. At least the leaf size should be bigger. Then he did it, and then Raghunath Das Goswami was like, from where did you collect that leaf actually? And then incident it was from Sakhi's Thali, and so that's a different thing. But the point is that this kind of determination. So this determination goes automatically when a person is engaged in Krishna consciousness, because he is not deviated. But in other systems, there is a risk that one may be deviated. And another thing Prabhupada is saying actually, so of course, one must do tapasya. That's why Aradhit Hari Tatsat Tapki. If your goal is to worship Krishna, do tapasya. But if you are not worshipping Krishna, that tapasya will generate a pride in your heart. That's why in Uddhav Gita, it is mentioned that what is the result of tapasya? The only result of tapasya is false pride. I am great. But if that tapasya is for uplifting our bhakti, that is called real tapasya, and that real tapasya is actually following the instruction of the spiritual master. One may think that I am chanting so many rounds, I am doing so many parikramas, I am reading so many scriptures, and for that I am very austere. Fine, good, thank you. But they may be obstacle. Why? Because it is in goodness, and the goodness is also entangling. A person who is in goodness, he is also entangled. Why? With pride. He thinks that I am superior to others. Like in the 14th chapter, Krishna says actually, whether it is though goodness is certainly uplifting, and passion is entangling and ignorance is degrading, but this goodness is also entangling. And that's why Brahma sometimes think that, I'm the great. And that's how, the Brahma did a mistake when Krishna came, and Brahma stole, Krishna's calf and covered friends. And that when that episode is over, then Brahmaji realized that next time my Krishna Chandra, who is my Lord and Master, he is going to come as a Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga! He will appear as a Gauranga, and I may commit the mistake again. No. This time I am not going to do that. So what should I do? So then Lord Brahma performed austerity. Very performed austerity, he went to Navdeep. In Navdeep, there is a place called Antardeep. And of course, there is a place called Mayapur, and there where Lord Chaitanya took birth. So in Antardeep, Brahma performed austerity, severe austerity. Then Krishna appeared in the form of Gauranga, because in Vrindavan he is Krishna Chandra, he is Nandanandan. But in Navdeep, he appeared as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And then Gauranga Mahaprabhu gave darshan to Brahma. So this description is there in Navdeep Dham Mahatma, written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then he said, Brahma, why are you performing so much severe austerity? Well, my dear Lord, you came in your original form as a Krishna Chandra, and I made a mistake. Because you made me the creator of this universe. Of course, our Brahma is a pure devotee, because first he performed, he pleased Lord, and then he got a power to create because of Krishna's blessing. So I made a mistake because you have given me the post of Brahma, and because of that I feel that I am the creator. And I thought that like my Lord Narayana, who eats so much opulent food in temple, how he can eat juta of some ordinary cowherd boys actually. And so I was bewildered by your Yogamaya potency actually. And because of that, I stole your calf and I stole your cowherd boys actually. And that's a great offense, because like Indra also offended Brahma, and Brahmaji, Krishna, and Brahmaji also offended. But it's like whose offense was severe? Brahma's. The reason, but no, apparently it seems that like Indra, he practically tried to devastate, the entire Vrindavan. How he can be less offensive than Brahma? Because the reason, by Indra's act, all the Brajavasis, cows and everybody came together. So that's a blessing. So that's why Indra's, act was less offensive. But by Brahma actually took away. And anybody who takes Krishna's devotee away from Krishna, Krishna is not pleased. So that's why. So then Brahmaji was lamenting like anything. Then he said like, so then what's your desire? That my desire is that, my dear Lord, I know that very soon you are going to appear in Kali Yuga for propagation of Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I don't want to commit that mistake. It's enough. Once bitten, twice. No, not more. So then he said like, what do you want? I want to take birth in a low family so that I can get rid of this pride. And then I want one more thing actually. I can constantly chant your name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And so Lord became very much pleased actually, because Brahmaji is going to assist Lord in propagating a Sankirtan movement. And eventually Brahma became Haridas Thakur. He took birth in a Yavan Muslim family, and then he became the Namacharya ultimately. And because this was a secret, the Lord told that don't tell this secret to anyone. That's why this is called this. For that reason, the name of that place became Antardweep. Antar means secret. It's confidential. So this is the thing. So the only result of performing austerity is what? That is the pride basically. But nobody can do that without determination also. So it's like our tapasya, our activity should be guided. Guided by whom? Guided by authorities, sadhu, guru and a shastra. And mainly in our life, that is our spiritual master. That is why it's like, what is the highest kind of tapasya? Just to follow the order of spiritual master. That is the head. And in this respect, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says actually, preaching is real austerity. When you preach Krishna consciousness, it's a real austerity, and that is like the classic example of determination and goodness. One has to be in goodness. And why preaching? Because it's like raising a child, but like just like mother raise a child. Similarly, when we preach to someone, you have to give so much to come to on a right path. And the last, I'll not take much time, it's already, that what is in determination? In ignorance actually. So Prabhupada, like here Krishna says actually, that dreaming and fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, these are the symptoms actually. But Prabhupada is elaborating here, like dreaming doesn't mean that only people who are in ignorance, they dream actually. The people who are in goodness and passion, they also dream, because it said that it should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. So, too much sleep is a determination in ignorance and lording over, material nature. The reason it is described in Bhagavatam 7th Canto, chapter 15, instruction for the civilized human being. There's a conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthir Maharaj. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking that there are 10 vices, how it can be overcome. And one says that like envy. So Yudhishthir says, how envy can be conquered? Because we often like, Prati, I'm so envious. How I can get rid of envy? Or like first say, I'm so angry. How can I get rid of anger? So the anger can be conquered by conquering envy. Okay, now you give the answer one, but create another problem. But how the envy can be conquered? Well, envy can be conquered by giving up the desire for sense gratification. Narad Muni is telling, I'm not telling. When you give up the desire for sense gratification, there is no question of becoming envy. That's why Krishna's devotees are called Akinchan. Akinchan, because they have nothing. That's why they love Krishna. Because when you don't have anything, then only you can love Krishna. Because when you have something, our attention goes in just like taking care of them. So Akinchana, that's why Krishna is the Tom. Kunti Maharaj said, Tom Akinchana Gochara. Krishna is the property of Akinchana. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundam, Kavitama Vajagdesham. So then let's come to the point. I forgot the point. Akinchana. So sense gratification. Envy can be given up by giving. But how one can give up sense gratification? By becoming possessionless. When we give up the mentality of possessing something, then we can naturally give up the idea for sense gratification. We can become non-envious. Here, so those, they have this lording over tendency. that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, that is mine actually. So that sort of determination, है ना, like we see there is an advertisement come, भाई ये दीवार टूटती क्यों नहीं, बोले अंबुजा सीमेंट से बनी. So like why two brothers are fighting? Because they forgot brothership or relationship. They just think that possession is mine. And that's why like Srila Radhanath Maharaj says in this respect that what's the difference between a spiritual person and enlightened person and non-spiritual person? Spiritual people love people and use things. But material people love things and use people. So that's the end. So this sort of ignorance in this sort of determination, having more and more and more, and like sleeping more and more. Basically, it is a symptom of determination. So the conclusion is that like the more we hear about Krishna, the more we chant about Krishna, actually this is the real way of like controlling one's mind. And by doing that, like he develops a determination. Just like we all people have a determination. That's why we are able to follow the rules and regulations. And the more we hear, it becomes stronger and stronger. And one day we actually cross the platform of sadhana bhakti and we come to the level of bhava bhakti. We are personally guided by Krishna. Hare Krishna. If any questions, we can take 5 minutes. Yes,
Thank you for the class. Prabhuji, the example you gave about Brahma, like this today or yesterday's morning class, Bhagavatam class, I heard, yeah, it was yesterday, that the original Gopas and cows were there. I mean, it is written by Krishna. And that Leela was also so that the mother could get, so how likewise the Indra, all Brijvasi came in association with the Krishna for 7 days. Like Brahma also, in this situation also, the mothers actually was able to love Krishna and then the cows also. So how, I mean,
like good question. In that respect, my spiritual master says these are pastimes of the Lord. And every pastime has 2 purposes: entertainment and lesson. Because like every drama we see has 2 aspects. Like it teaches us something and it entertains us. So that's how Krishna's pastimes are like that. And there are different acharyas are there. They write commentary on it. So like maybe in one comment, like what Prabhuji like told, like maybe the same Leela is explained by Srila Jiva Goswami in a different way, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti in a different way. But we should take the essence. What is the essence? That there is a learning lesson in it actually. So what is the learning lesson that Brahma said, that Maya is so strong, anybody can be bewildered. So let me become humble. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is requesting Trinadapi Sunichayana. Want to grow in bhakti? Develop these qualities. Dainya Atma Nivedana Goptritva Varana. First quality Dainya. The more one becomes Dainya, humble, that the real lessons Brahmaji learned from that, because I am holding the position as a Brahma, there is no flaw, but because this position, I'm sitting on that hot seat, I'm becoming hot. And that's how I made a mistake. So I should not repeat that. So he learned a lesson. Though Krishna forgave him. Krishna, that place is there. It's called Chaumuha. That place is there. And when we go to Chaumuha is a place like Parkham. So Krishna forgave. But the lesson is that, that there's a risk actually. Whatever little bit we acquire in this world, immediately it develops pride in our heart. And when the pride is developed, one's devotion is shrunken. Devotion, that's why Kunti Maharaj said, Janma Aishwara Shruta Shribhi Yedamana. So, is that answer your question, Mataji?
yes, Prabhuji.
So, the explanation, Acharyas may explain, but from our perspective, because anyways, in Padma Purana, in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkutam. Krishna comes to protect the devotees and to kill the ingredients. But Sanatana Goswami Pad said, no, in Padma Purana it says no, Krishna doesn't come for that. He said, Tad bhaktanartham vinodartham karotmi vividha kriya. Tad bhaktanartham vinodartham karomi vividha kriya. I just come to give pleasure to my devotees and I karomi vividha kriya. I act in a different way. So one pastimes can be understood and realized according to our level. When we are in a sadhana bhakti level, we'll take lessons. When we are in a bhava bhakti level, we derive something else out of it. Just you go on.
what if one has a desire to perform bhakti, but no determination?
Then he should associate with those they have the determination. There's the immediate. That's why, like, the root of bhakti is association of devotees. We all became devotees just by coming in association of devotees, and then regularly cultivating it by Shravanam. Because like this is like a link, like Shravanam. The more we hear, then automatically it becomes Kirtanam. It's like now, when the rain happens, like when the jharne ka food, jadhar barish hoti hai. So the more we hear, automatically it will be Kirtanam. And when there is a Kirtanam, there will be Smaranam. And then when there will be Smaranam, there is a Pada Sevanam. My feet will automatically, tell me, go to the temple. I want to see the Lord. And when the Pada Sevanam is there, Vandanam. Oh Lord, I just came with empty-handed. I brought nothing. Then I develop a desire, like, oh, I should bring something for you. Then next day I bring a flower, Archanam. And then from Archanam, oh, this much only, I want to do more, Dasyam. I want to tell it to my other friend, Sakhyam. And then finally, what can I do? Everything is just Atma Nivedana. So this is the beginning. So this is like Adho Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrittasya. So it follows. But the determination comes like, by associating with those they have that determination. That's why in the month of Kartik, it is prescribed that you should stay in Vrindavan. Because we see so many, they are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nama pavanebhyo Srila Prabhupada ki 6 o'clock.
You can go on, no problem. Or you can, because Aarti is at 6:30. You can go on for 5 minutes at least.
I don't have any objection, but yes, please continue.
I can ask.
Yeah, sure.
So, this one pastime Prabhupada said that someone was told to bring some vegetables. So that person that devotee bought the vegetables, and then he said, Prabhupada, but my mind was going here and there. Prabhupada said, doesn't matter, but still you brought the vegetables. So similarly, we see whatever devotional service we are doing with so much imperfection, Krishna is accepting that, no? You know what I mean? I'm saying.
I understand. Krishna is accepting. If it is done for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, because like in Bhakti also, there is a thing actually. There's a thin difference between sense gratification and Bhakti. Like Bhakti means for Krishna's pleasure and Krishna's devotee's pleasure. And in that, we get the pleasure. But when externally it is like an act of devotion, devotional service, but there is some hidden motive it. That's like, it's like, what is the Save Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshade Ahetuki. There is no Hetu. Ahetuki Apratihata Yen Atma Suprasiddhati. That if there is bhakti, the real definition of the Shuddha Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti is like ahetuki, there is no hetu. I am just chanting because I was told to chant and I am chanting. There is even not a desire that I am chanting so my heart will pure. No, whether it become pure or don't pure, I just chant. Because my Guru Maharaj told me to chant. When that attitude is there, that Bhakti is there. But when that attitude is not there, still we are chanting, it still, it has its effect. Because it will purify us. But when we say Bhakti, Bhakti means for the pleasure of Krishna. The definition, Bhakti means what? Prem. Atmendrira priti vancha taranam kam, Krishnendrira priti chadare premna. So, of course, we cannot see Krishna, we are not so qualified. So, we see Krishna through our Guru. Through Guru's instruction actually. So, when somebody is following, if somebody is following Prabhupada instructions, his Siksha Guru's instruction, Diksha Guru's instruction, and he doesn't desire anything other than that. He is perfectly situated in pure devotion. And Krishna takes everything. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
You are saying that we are not seeing Krishna, but in Bhagavad Gita the Lord has said, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samana.
Sudullabha.
Everything is Lord.
Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. But of course, our process is seeing Krishna not through eyes. Our process of seeing Krishna is through ears. When we hear, we see Krishna. Like you are saying, Prabhuji, that everywhere is Krishna because you heard, na? That's why you are saying. And without hearing, how can you say that? Everywhere is Krishna. And then, so there's like 3 chakshu. It's called there are 3 ways to see. One is called charma chakshu, then it's called a Shastra Chakshu, and it's called Prema Chakshu. So normal people see with this eye is made up of skin and flesh. That's called Charma Chakshu. But that's not seeing actually. That's an illusion. But then our process of seeing is through hearing. Shatra. Like when we hear actually, then the dirt, Hare Krishna, when the sound enters into our heart, the dirt goes out and we feel Krishna. We cannot see Krishna, we feel Krishna. We feel the presence of Krishna. And when we come to the level of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti, we say Sthavar Jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti sarvatra prakash va istadeva spurati. Then one can actually see Krishna. That's called Prema Chakshu. Just like Surdas, he was a blind person. But he can describe that what Krishna is wearing today. How is it possible? Because he is seeing Krishna with an eye of Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilosana. So of course that is also high level. Premanjana Churita level. And we don't have to live on that level also. Just seeing is believing. Let's come to the middle path, intermediate. That's like hearing. The more we hear Krishna, the more we see Krishna through, Prabhupada write in Mukunda Mala Srot, that through Anubhuti. By divine experience, revelation. Anubhuti के माध्यम से हम भगवान को समझते हैं. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की.